Welcome back, everybody. Today I'm here with some pretty exciting news for The Walking Dead Season 10 because today production officially started with Season 10. So we're going to go over some awesome photos we have, and then also we got some information about Season 10 from Angela Kang and different sources. So we're going to discuss all that in this video today. So with that being said, let's get started. Alright, so filming began today, and filming season is always pretty exciting for The Walking Dead because, you know, they film in the open and it's always fun seeing the cast and pictures, and they're pretty open about it too. They even posted some images today which we're going to discuss, but you know, we always get some tidbits throughout the filming season because, you know, with The Walking Dead they film in the open, so it's kind of hard to keep everything under wraps. But this image Norman Reedus posted this morning, and he said day one, and it's just two chairs of him and Carol, and it looks like they're filming, it looks like the first scenes they're filming are going to be in the open, in the woods. Obviously this isn't going to be like the first scene of the first season because obviously they can film in, you know, it doesn't have to be a chronological order. They could have done some shots in the morning, but something I do notice right off the bat is that there's no snow. And the reason I bring it up is because that was a pretty big topic for discussion, because some people thought the snow might lead into season 10, and the snow was awesome. I really liked it. The episode 16, the finale, it was a slower episode, but the snow was awesome because the snow is something that Walking Dead fans have been wanting for a long time, and it was so cool how they brought that to the show. And seeing how the snow affected the walkers was really, like, in my opinion, like the highlight of the finale, because I really appreciated how they really listened to the fans, because I remember fans were always curious how the snow affects the walkers, and we finally got that answered, so it was really cool. And just seeing like the whole new environment, but it kind of makes sense why they wouldn't bring the snow into season 10. Obviously, it doesn't snow like that in Georgia, and it was a set, and they filmed the finale back in November. I mean, they could bring it back. It's not like it's impossible or anything. But Angela Kang did say that season 10 is going to begin with a little bit of a time jump, which makes sense because that would make it possible for the snow to clear up without any questions being asked. Yeah, in case you didn't know, I talked about this in a previous video, but Angela Kang did had an interview recently. It was actually a couple weeks back after the finale when they asked her questions about season 10. She did say that season 10 is going to pick up with a little bit of a time jump. Nothing too crazy. And by that, I mean, I'm sure she's referring to, like, it's not going to be like a couple of years, or I don't even think it's going to be 1 year. It's probably going to be just a couple months, which actually is a big deal if you think about it, because it just came off the Pikes, which they already did a couple months of a time jump, and now they're doing another, a few months. So it's going to be at least closer to a year since the Pikes. And that kind of, in a way, it kind of deflates that impact of the Pikes, if that makes sense, because it seems like you're not going to go straight into war. Like they may have kind of not forgotten about it, but it isn't on top of their, it's not on top of their agenda. Like they did, like, we have to go kill the Whisperers right now and then, because it's already been a while since the Pikes happened. So that kind of leads me to believe that something else is going to happen in season 10, which is going to kick off the Whisper War, possibly another death. But that is just a little idea I have of what I think is going to kick off the Whisper War, another death. Let me know in the comments down below if you agree or disagree. What do you think is going to kick off the Whisper War? But moving on, we got this image from Denise Huth, who is an executive producer on The Walking Dead. She posted this of their first scene they were filming, and as we can see here, it's going to be episode 10:01. And I love seeing this because it always gives the director, which is always exciting, but I think we all knew Greg Nicotero would be directing the first episode, as he usually does. Premieres, mid-season finales, mid-season premieres, season finales, that is Greg Nicotero's thing. I think he's like one of the most exciting directors working on The Walking Dead, and I think because he always does a pretty good job with his episodes. Like, I can't think of recent memory of a finale or a mid-season finale being, or a finale or premiere being disappointing, and he does a pretty good job with it. So it makes sense why they want to give him the bigger episodes. But yeah, that's pretty exciting. So we have that information. They didn't really give us that information before, which is pretty surprising. They usually do, who the director is for episode 1. But I think at this point, everybody already knows Greg Nicotero is going to be directing the bigger episode, so that's why they didn't really announce it. But now we know for sure. But that being said, I want to move on and talk about some news we got for The Walking Dead. The first thing is, like, you guys might have heard this already. It's nothing too crazy, so I didn't want to make make like a separate video on it. I wanted to wait to talk about season 10 for this video. But we just got some news recently that Judith Grimes, the actress, Kaylee Fleming, she has signed on for season 10, and she signed on to a pretty big deal, is what the word in the report is. So that's interesting because she is a young actress. She's Judith Grimes, and by the looks of it, it looks like they want to, or if these reports are true, that she signed on to a big contract and stuff like that, it looks like they want to keep her for a while. And with The Walking Dead now, contracts kind of include like other series and spin-offs. Like I know the one for Norman Reedus and Melissa McBride, they announced that they are allowed to, or part of their deals are that they can be used in other spin-offs and other Walking Dead properties. And the reason I bring that up is because the same thing could be going on here. We know we have that third spin-off coming next year. They already announced that they're going to be filming it during the summer, which I'm sure we're going to probably be hearing some news about that very shortly too. They're filming that one in Virginia, so they could do 2 shows at once. So I don't think we might not get as much as information on that because the Walking Dead people, Sonoy is like basically, if you've been there, it's awesome, but it's like basically like a little Walking Dead city. They have Walking Dead shops and stuff like that. People always walk around, and like right across the street is Alexandria where they film. So it's pretty easy to know when the cast is filming. But we'll see if the same thing goes down in Virginia, if they're pretty open about filming. But anyways, we know that series is going to be involving 2 girls in a different, section of the Walking Dead universe, a different area. And some people think this new spin-off with these 2 girls as the leads, maybe one of them is going to be Judith. It could be, it definitely could be, but again, Judith is a little bit young still, so that's why I kind of don't see her leaving and going to a new corner of the world by herself. So if it is going to be Judith, it's probably going to be an older version of her, which means they're going to have to recast her, which I don't know if I kind of see that happening because Kaylee Fleming is doing a pretty good job as Judith. I mean, she's doing a really good job actually, so I'm not sure if they want to, just recast her. And that's the thing. Maybe if they do have Judith in the new spinoff, maybe that's going to be better for fans because they're going to have a character they're attached to and they can watch that new spinoff. But again, The Walking Dead is a universe, so I'm sure Walking Dead fans, hardcore, true Walking Dead fans, are going to watch any spinoff no matter what. But yeah, the more I think about this, especially now with the season 10 deal, I just don't think this new spinoff is going to have Judith at the center of it. We'll see. And honestly, I would prefer, the more I've been thinking about it, I would prefer it not to be. I think if she stays in the main show, that would be pretty cool. And we also know Michonne is leaving in season 10. They say she's going to be in a handful of episodes. I don't know what that means. It could mean 5, 6, 7. Because they didn't. I remember when they announced Rick and Maggie's final season, they announced how many episodes they were each gonna be in, but they never really announced how many episodes Michonne is gonna be in just yet. All they said was a handful of episodes. But I kind of see it. I kind of see her story wrapping up in the first half of season 10. They said they're gonna try to make it so she can work into the Rick Grimes movies. So that kind of leads me to believe that she's not gonna die. And then also people think that Judith might go with Michonne. But if Michonne is going to a different community, I think Judith is gonna stay back with Daryl and Carol. Maybe she'll take RJ, but based on this new report of this new deal that Kaylee Fleming has, I'm sure Judith is going to stick around for a long time. And the next thing I want to talk about is something that Angela Kang teased very recently. She teased the Cold War coming to The Walking Dead between the survivors and the Whispers, and I want to read some things she said and we can discuss it. So when speaking to The Hollywood Reporter, this is what she had to say about some things, some themes that we could see in season 10. So she said, thematically, I'll give you an early hint. We're talking about the idea of the Whispers, Kang told The Hollywood Reporter when asked to dish on themes expected to play out in season 10. There's some stuff from the comic books that have to do with the idea of whispers and the whispering and propaganda. We're very interested in what a war with people like the Whispers looks like. What is a Cold War like in The Walking Dead? We're looking forward to exploring that next year. So yeah, I really like this. And Angela Kang, when I read her interviews and watch her interviews, I definitely see how smart she is, and I can definitely see why The Walking Dead is successful, because she looks at it in a realistic point of view. Obviously, The Walking Dead is not realistic at all. It's a zombie apocalypse show. But look at the themes she's like. The themes they look at are themes based on real life. Like we saw the same thing with All Out War when she took over at the beginning of season 9. I remember reading articles about what war does to people, what people's reactions are to war, what's the aftermath of war in real life, and they look at like real life situations and they kind of base their show onto that. And I think the show really benefited from that because there definitely is a sense of realism to The Walking Dead. And you know, as fantasy as the show is, there's something realistic about the show for some reason, and I think it's because of them looking at real life things and kind of basing their show and their situations on that. So I have a pretty good feeling already for season 10, and I can't wait. But one last thing I want to read is from Entertainment Weekly, which kind of goes into the discussion I was having earlier of what's going to kick off the Whisper War. So Angela King also said this. She said, "We wanted to tell sort of an unexpected story for the Whispers, which is we generally know what happens with our characters when there's a big loss from an opposing force. They gear up and they go to war. But the Whispers don't exactly have a home address. You can't go knock on their door with a bunch of machine guns. That's not their deal, so they're nomadic." So that's what I mean earlier when I said that I don't think the Whisper War is on the top of their agenda right now. I don't think you're going to go and fight the Whispers as soon as the snow clears up. First of all, like I said, some time has skipped and still haven't done it. But I think the Whispers are going to come to them, and I think the Whispers are going to be angry because they crossed into their territory. I feel like some way they're going to figure out. Maybe there's like one or two Whispers lurking or staying maybe inside of, I don't know, maybe a little building or just something, and they kind of spied on them. And they kind of even teased that a little bit in the finale. Remember Yumiko? She was like, what if they're already following us? I don't think they would add in that line of dialogue for no reason. Like, what's the point of that? You know, I feel like that was kind of foreshadowing that there was a couple Whispers maybe spying on them. And then they're going to go report back to Alpha. And Alpha, you know, her threat was pretty serious against Daryl. So I think she is going to go to the hilltop. And she knows where the hilltop is. And maybe she's going to kill somebody, which is then going to trigger the Whisper War. That's the way I kind of see it happening. But again, let me know in the comments down below. What do you guys think? I am going to wrap it up there for this video. So hopefully you guys did enjoy. I just wanted to share these set images with you guys. And then also some news we got for season 10. We're probably going to be getting a lot of news, you know, from now on moving forward. Because they are filming season 10. So any new news we get for The Walking Dead season 10, I'll be definitely making a video on it, so stay tuned for that by hitting that subscribe button. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like rating, and thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you guys later.